Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
And I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we've got Kyle in the booth. Say hi, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
Wow. I was not expecting Kyle to do that. I was expecting him to be very
Mimi, at least,
morose.
to us. Yeah, or that. Yeah.
Picked up right where Rob left off. Kyle will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure you tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. As always, we are brought to you by Star City Games and sponsored by Carnox Chairs. Hey, Corey, do you like saving money?
I love it. I love saving money. Let me tell you. I'm super cheap, yeah. If I can ever get a percentage off anything, like frequent flyer miles, dinners, anything, I'll take it.
If you were to get 10% off, say, just hypothetically,
okay,
theoretical scenario, not real, 10%
just anything,
off of a Carnox chair, and all you had to do was type 4 extra characters into the URL bar of your browser.
Well, I mean, depending on how much the chairs are, that's me only paying 90%.
Yeah, that is 100
at an item that is normally 100%.
That's how most items are priced out.
How much time do you think it takes me to type 4 characters? Like maybe like a second?
Probably less.
Think about the wage I'd be getting per second. That's like doctor wages. I'm all about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you do get 10% off of your Carnox chair if you go to carnox.com/SCG.
I didn't know that had a sound effect.
What was it?
Ka-ching!
We're trying out some new improvements on Versus Live today.
Kyle found some new transitions in the software, I guess.
Yeah.
And our fearless leader, Jeremy, hates them, so we, of course, had to use them.
So write in chat A through F if how you enjoyed your first transition, making it rain.
Okay. Last weekend,
yes,
we had 2 players tours.
Yes,
we had a Team Constructed Open in Richmond.
we sure did.
You won the Team Constructed Open in Richmond, so congratulations.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy.
I took 5th place, which is okay.
Sorry about your 5th. We did have the same records going into the top 4, so I mean that easily could have been your team, with one break or slip.
Yep. A very good performance over the weekend for us.
Yeah, and BCW in general. We kind of killed it.
We're pretty good.
Yeah, we're doing all right. That Edgar guy on that Lotus Box team, he's doing pretty good, though, too. 4 in a row, making history. No big deal.
Good, too.
I simultaneously tied the record as he simultaneously broke the record for 3 in a row in top 8s. Well, he just fourths it up. No big deal.
Well, I guess you're skipping this one for Phoenix, so it doesn't really count.
So is he.
Yeah. So the streaks are broken?
No.
Okay.
It counts.
They
keep going if you don't play them. Yeah, that's only fair.
Feels weird. Then you can just only go to ones that you're really practiced for. It seems a lot. It's a much greater accomplishment if you just keep going to everyone and top.
That's true. That's true.
So they're different things. Yeah. But it's okay. Winning a lot is great.
That's true.
My point was, before we went on that tangent of self-congratulations, was
we deserved it.
Yeah, that was my point. We deserved it. It's that there was a lot of Pioneer played last weekend.
Ton.
A third of Richmond was Pioneer. All of the players' tours were Pioneer. So we got a lot of new decks, a lot of cool decks, and we decided to feature those on today's show.
Yeah.
And we're starting, I think, with the coolest ones.
Yeah, we're definitely starting with the more obscure ones, but 2 decks that did very well.
Yeah. The deck you were playing is going to be less heralded because it did not make the top 8. This is Tristan Pulsel's Jeskai Fires deck. Basically the only deck of its kind, I think, among the top decks at either player's tour.
Yeah.
He went like 8-1-1. I think it was a 25-pointer. Might have been a 24 and 8-2, but a lot of wins with this deck. Yeah. Really impressive stuff.
Really could have top 8'd. Must have not had the most luck in draft, which, happens. I think there was a 10-0 player that did not top 8. So that feels bad.
There was a 10-0 player that I think 2-4 limited in Brussels.
Yeah, that just sounds like my Pro Tour stats in a nutshell right there. That's so many 8-2s, but so many 1-5s and 2-4s.
But this deck performed really well. It's a pretty straightforward Jeskai Fires deck. Kenrith, the something of Gales, Cavalier Gales. So we're borrowing a bit from Standard even.
Yeah.
And we got some good removal. Supreme Verdict, I think, is a really nice one. That turn 4 of Fire's Verdict.
Yeah.
It seems really strong.
Yeah, it seems like any creature matchup that this deck plays against mono black, mono red. I bet even Bant Spirits is pretty solid. Maybe not. There's probably a lot of counters.
The fact that they can quell Verdict is a problem.
True. But, mono red, mono black, I bet this is what was on this person's radar, and I would imagine it kind of smashes both of those decks.
Yeah, makes sense to me. Also, probably pretty easily contends with the Niv Mizzet decks, which didn't do well, but did show up in reasonable numbers.
Yeah.
He had to have beaten some Dimir Inverter decks.
Had to have.
Which doesn't seem like a great matchup, but like maybe there's something there.
Yeah.
And you are going to be playing against a Dimir Inverter deck of sorts.
You have Black Lions, I guess, right? But yeah, it's basically mono blue.
This is Shintaro Ishimura's deck. He made the semifinals of the Players Tour in Nagoya. And it's the mono blue devotion shell that we saw Sam Black write about last week.
Okay.
But instead of splashing white for Reflector Mage, he's just splashing black for Inverter Truce.
Let's get him dead.
Goes with Fast Oracle. So we have this incredible mid-range plan of just developing a battlefield, going way over the top with Nykthos and Gadwick.
Yeah.
Or, if that plan isn't going to work because they're killing your stuff and your Nykthos isn't generating a ton of extra mana, you can just show them the combo.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting. I was sitting next to Pete, our RB player, or our Pioneer player, played Dimir Inverter, and a ton of mirrors. One thing that we recognized at Richmond is a lot of people that were playing Pioneer were going to copy lists from the 2 players tours because they got him a day early. So our metagame in Richmond, I think, was really condensed to just the top performing decks. So we saw a lot more mirrors than I'm sure PT Nagoya and PT Brussels did, because they don't have that information. They don't know a Dimir Inverter was going to be 25% or whatever it was. So it's a little bit more wide open there and a little bit more condensed for us. So, we watched a lot of Inverter, but just the combo plan from Inverter is kind of vulnerable. I was watching Pete, and it was like, if they had a couple key interaction spells, it was hard to win through the Inverter. So I like having a plan B that can actually win the game.
And either they're going to have to interact with that devotion plan, right?
Yep.
And if they do that, then your combo is freed up. If they hold back their combo, you're going to go over the top of them with the devotion plan. It also makes sense that the devotion plan is particularly vulnerable to, sweepers and heavy removal strategies.
Yeah.
And the combo is best against those strategies.
Yeah. So you get to kind of pivot, pull it forward to really either lean into being good against creatures or non-creatures.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting. Yeah.
Having 2 plans is good in and of itself, but when you have 2 plans that cover the weaknesses of each other, now you're operating on a whole other level.
Then you got a real deck on your hands. Yeah.
I think you're going to be pretty good against the devotion side of things here, but not as good against the combo side of things.
Exactly.
And we'll see how it goes. I think we've talked long enough. You want to just get into it?
Let's battle. I got the marbles. We had a nice battle yesterday.
Winning everything. It's okay.
Hey, we went 1-1. I believe we're going to have our team tiebreaker on Thursday. We're still figuring this out, but we got to have the tiebreaker, right?
We were 1-1 in team battle so
we far. Don't end on game 4 when we're 2-2, So why did we stop now?
We do things on Versus Live.
All right, so you're going to be going first, I assume.
And I will be mulliganing first.
All right. Well, this hand has a glaring problem, but I think we have enough draws to hopefully fix that. We're going to keep this hand.
Is your problem a lack of lands or a lack of a color?
Just 0 lands, yeah. I said a glaring problem. It was very obvious, but...
Is it that your hand is all white permanents that get exiled by Glare of Heresy?
Yes, that's it. That's it. Thank you
for that. Is it all hexproof creatures that get removed because of glaring spotlight?
No, it's just the lights are a little bright here, so it's a glare I can't really see.
Okay.
Yeah. Kyle, what do you think? You got a question queued up this early?
Sure, yeah. We got a couple already coming in.
All right.
First off, F2B Engineer wants to know, is it time for Wizards to address the elephant in the room? Is Ely Cassis too good for Modern?
Yeah, unfortunately, dig through time really needs to be banned in Pioneer. I think Ely really needs to be banned from Urza, Lord High Artificer. That combo, Oko and Mox Opal together were too powerful. Ely Cassis and Urza, Lord High Artificer, has proven itself to be far too good. We need to nerf that a little bit. Yeah,
I'm in.
Yeah,
get him out of there.
Yeah, it's not fair.
Make him play some standard.
It's not fair. He went X1 and his only loss was a mistake on his part. He literally should have XO'd 16-0.
He was going to game 3 in his match against Marshall when we played in round 9.
Was he?
Yeah,
Okay,
he was like,
okay.
well, they were in game 2, and he was pretty likely to lose.
Okay, yeah.
We might have gotten him.
We might have. So maybe 1 or 2 unfinished, but otherwise,
Yeah.
that guy didn't lose. So we're booking him a free chiropractic appointment for carrying us for 2 days. Yeah.
Oh my god. Sand is also unkeepable, just like Island triple inverter.
4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4.
Let's take one more, Kyle.
Yeah.
All right. I was actually about to just ask about Dig Through Time in Pioneer, but how about from Ice Blade 908? Do you feel that Lightning Bolt could be reprinted into Pioneer?
Lightning Bolt?
Or would it be a problem?
I don't think it seems like a problem at all. I think it'd be a good Magic card, but cards like those, it's really hard for me. Like, I know Path would be bad. Path has caused a lot of problems because Blue Eye Control just gets really good when you have one of those unconditional answers. And then when a control deck is too good, I think formats people tend to dislike. But I don't know. I think Bolt would be okay. What do you think? I mean, it'd be good.
I don't know if it wouldn't get banned, but I don't know if it would make the format better.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's already playing Shocks. Like, Shocker's good.
Yeah.
Like, do you really need, and like red decks have been good over these last few months at different times.
Yeah, I think for red deck wins deck, we probably just don't need to upgrade that deck. It's already very good. I mean, it had one of the highest win percentages at Brussels. It was like 72% or something, which is very high.
It wasn't that high, but
Are you sure?
That was the upper range of the bound on Max Dorson's block.
Oh, okay.
He did error bars, which I appreciated.
Yeah. But no, we could probably live with it or go without it to answer the lightning bolt question there.
We could do both.
But it's all because of the price of it. That's your cue. Drop the money thing again.
Oh, I don't have just, I changed it.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Well,
anytime we mention cash or any currency, please just throw that transition up, okay?
I'm going to keep this very mediocre 5.
Okay,
Right here. I do not think this card is good, so...
All right.
That, even though it's a spell.
All right. Ooh, that was a nice little draw. We're going to go with this and pass to you.
I will play an island and pass.
All right. Interesting. Okay, we're going to go with a Fae of Wishes. Your turn.
I will cycle Fetid Pools.
All right, powerful. Fae of Wishes is probably not the best against you, but might as well stop the assault a little bit. All right, let's... oops, can't play that. I got to take 2.
18.
And play it to Fairy.
Sure.
All right. Let's tick up and give you the beatdowns.
19.
Your turn. The beatdowns. Got a good one?
We're starting early, I guess.
Welcome back from Richmond, bud. Welcome back. Does it feel like you're at home crushing me 2-0 in our practice games, and then we get to the real games here, and yeah, that's usually how it goes. Pretty much a little behind the scenes of Versus Live. Whoever wins in our practice games before the show is going to get annihilated in the first round.
It was the same when Todd was here.
Was it?
Yeah. Things didn't change.
Fires?
Sure.
Granted. Let's not take it for granted. Okay, what am I searching here again? Non-creature, huh? What do I want? Oh, that's probably pretty cute. I would assume this card is for you. Gideon's Intervention?
Sure.
All right, and then we'll tick up again and give you the beatdown.
18.
Your turn. Shutting down Inverter, I guess that seems okay. The combo is what I'm afraid of.
Pass.
All right. This is my kind of game. Okay, so I'm gonna start by taking 2.
You're at 16.
16 and you're at 18, right?
Yep.
Okay. We can take another peek in here. Nothing too great right now. Let's go with a Gideon's Intervention.
Resolves.
I'll name Dimir Inverter.
That's not a card name.
Inverter of Truths. Sorry.
Also not a card name.
What is it?
Inverter of Truth.
Whatever. Then I'll play Kenrith.
Sure.
Haste. Bring in the pain for 6.
I'm at 12.
And I will tick this up and pass to you.
Sounds about right.
How good's your hand?
It's pretty perfect.
You got some Dimir Inverters in there?
Your turn.
End step. Draw a card. Untap. Draw. Land for the turn. Let's see. Let's go with a Granted. Elspeth. Play Elspeth. Tick up.
3 1/1s.
Some Aaron Barrich is in here. I will go with Haste. Give you the beatdowns.
So that's 9.
Yep.
I go to 3.
Okay. And let's bounce fires. I will play a Fae and pass to you. Anyone's game.
One more turn and I have an out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the bounce spell for the intervention. But I
Okay.
couldn't end step it. I just needed to draw the Oracle and have one more turn.
Yeah. Not being able to end step it, little unfortunate.
Yeah.
Little unfortunate.
My third hand was 6 lands inverter.
Okay.
And then I put off the Temple of Deceit Scry. I put Harbinger of the Tides on the bottom because
Okay.
it doesn't do anything.
Yep.
Then I drew 3 more lands. Then you play Gideon's Intervention, and I drew Borrower. I'm like, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Then I drew another inverter and another land.
Love that. Should we do another game one since that was not a very good
let's do it.
representation? Okay. Perfect. Let's take a question from Director Kyle, though.
All right. So, sorry, I had to go back up for a second.
You're good. You're good.
A lot of questions have been coming in just about the decks that you guys are going to be showcasing later.
Okay.
Gonna have to stick around to see those. That's how it works. That's how it gets you.
That is how we get them.
Prince Elo wants to know, do you feel Thoughtseize is too centralizing for Pioneer at the moment?
It's in like 2 decks.
Yeah. I think it's great. I think it's a great card to have, you know? I mean,
Sultide Layering deck too, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think it's a very important thing. Otherwise, I think if there's not those kind of good tools, combo decks are going to run away. Like, I mean, there's some good combo decks out there right now. And maybe just like the 2 most powerful decks, the Breach decks and Dimir Inverter, like, got to have answers for those. Otherwise, we're just comboing off or combo mirrors constantly. That's not great.
Gotta give people their fair cards.
Yeah. Oh, I like it. All right, let's take one more question. You got it, Kyle?
Yeah, I got you.
All right.
Pogdon11 wants to know, what are your thoughts on Ashiok's Erasure for the Inverter Mirror?
I like that card.
Just gets rid of it permanently, right? The enchantment?
Yeah, the flash enchantment exiles a spell when it enters the battlefield, and they can't cast spells with the same name as the exiled spell.
I don't like it because almost every Inverter deck brings in 4 Mystical Disputes. This is a 4-mana blue card, you know? That's that's kind of leaning into the sideboard hate, which scares me a little bit, but...
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I didn't realize how prevalent Dispute was in there. But, like, you have Disputes too, but still, you don't want... It's weird because, like, it's a matchup where you want, like, powerful cards.
Yeah.
So that you can play either, like, shut out their combo or play a powerful fair game. Mm-hmm. But the disruption in the decks is so good. Yeah. You know, Thoughtseize, Thought Erasure, Mystical Dispute, that it's hard to resolve those powerful cards.
Yep.
So, You know,
Oh, I definitely still have an Elspeth in this deck. If I draw it, I'm going to put it back.
but I want to be looking for, like, I don't want to play a ton of that card.
Yeah.
But
I liked Pete's sideboard tech. Pete didn't exactly, you know, crush it this weekend. He did fine. He had a good day too, but day one was not great. But his sideboard plan I really liked because it didn't. It kind of juked the hate. He was just bringing in Pack Rat. He won a lot of games because of it. Won the top 8 or the top 4 and the finals with Pack Rat just turn 2. You know, we had a nice, a little quick story time here. We were playing against Kevin Jones. In the what would have been the decider, I was going to lose to Harlan. He was just dunking on me. We never got to finish, but it was not looking good for me. And apparently, Pete wins game 2, and we saw Legion's End in Kevin's deck. So like Ely like whispered like, yeah, or didn't really whisper. He said, like, yeah, they got Legion's End. You better take those out. And we just take out Pack Rats to the sideboard and then grab Pack Rats and put them back in. And we see him take out some cards, so we're pretty sure he takes out his Legion's End. Then we go turn 2 Pack Rat on and play and just won immediately. He's like, I took those out. What do you want from me? Steven's like, you can't take all those out.
I got the other side of this story from Harlan.
Did you?
Not pleased.
Yeah, because Harlan was absolutely dunking on me. I played 5 spells. I was like on the play, and I just went like Teferi, Narset, Elspeth, Conqueror's Death, Dream Trawler, another Narset, and it went dispute, counter, counter, counter. I didn't resolve anything, and he's got 2 borrows in play, and I'm down a game. I'm like, well. And then I look over and we're pack ratting to oblivion. I'm like, oh, okay, thank God.
Okay, game
so good
2.
times. Oh, wait. Forgot I had that too. Well, now my head is great. It was really bad with those 2 cards. All right, it's not great, but it's okay.
I'm going to keep this.
I'm going to try as well. We, once again, have another pretty big problem with this hand and a little bit of redundancy. But I think, Kyle, if we take a look at my hand, I think this is important enough in this matchup that I'm actually going to keep this. This could go badly for us, though.
Okay, I will start with a Leyline of Anticipation.
Okay.
And then play a Drowned Catacomb.
All right. I will play Hallowed Fountain and pass to you.
Fetipools.
Okay.
You're up.
I will play a Sulphur Falls. Go ahead.
Nykthos. Pass the turn.
Okay. All right. Everything is flash, eh? I'm going to go with a Teferi. Your friend.
I will Wizard's Retort that.
Okay. And pass to you.
Pass the turn.
Okay. I'm going to take 2 points of damage.
You're at 18.
I'm going to attempt to play a Fires of Invention.
That's fine.
And I will also play a Teferi, Time Raveler.
I will respond with a Merfolk Trickster.
Tricky. Okay. That resolves, and then this resolves?
Yep.
All right, let's put that back. Go ahead.
Let's scry 1.
Okay.
Don't think this is that necessary. Maybe it is. It is a powerful card.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll keep that on top.
Okay.
And then I will play this Trickster.
Okay. What's your target?
Pass.
Ooh, that was a good drop. That was a good one. Let's see what we can do with this. So I think we are for sure going to take 2.
16.
Going to play Kenrith.
Yep.
Now, do I want to attack with this, protect Teferi? I probably want to protect. So let's go like this. Now let's start with a activation from Kenrith before we play our second spell. I'm going to draw a card. Ooh, I guess I'll play this Cavalier Gale. Draw 3. All right, we got some cards to put back. Don't need another copy of Fires, as well as some of these cards are not great. Yeah, let's put these two back. I think it's pretty safe to attack now. I think I got to get you dead because you're probably getting pretty close to a combo here. Let's give him haste. Get him in there.
I will go 210.
Okay, your turn.
That was interesting.
I started the turn with neither of these, so that was pretty lucky draws, I feel.
Oh, that seems like the way to do it.
Uh-oh. The line has been found, huh?
I guess that doesn't change a whole lot.
Okay. I like that I put you in a little bit of an interesting spot where you want to attack Teferi, but you also may have to block to stay alive, so.
Definitely want to attack the Teferi.
Okay, that's dead.
I was hoping Corey would just attack with one creature and leave one back.
All or nothing. All in. I raise.
Just pass the turn, I guess.
Okay,
All my
yeah.
stuff has flash, so there's no point in me doing anything now.
Exactly. Okay, so let's go untap here. All right, so now we got some good ones, but I think we start with this. These are the three things I'm considering here, but I think we start with this as pretty safe. Maybe? Yeah, actually, I like that. Okay. Start with Teferi. We've been slowing things down around here.
Yeah, the third Teferi is very good.
Yep.
So I have to play both things now, because otherwise you can just bounce one and kill me.
Okay.
So I will make 4 blue.
Okay.
1 blue floating, Gadwick for 0.
Gadwick, yep. And can play that because of this.
Yep. And then I will cast this for 2 mana because of Leyline. Trigger Gadwick. I will... which one do I want to bounce? Because I got to tap with this on the stack and then bounce it with Harbinger when it enters the battlefield.
Oh, okay.
The Cavalier I can't block. You could potentially...
Yeah, that's a tricky one. That is a tricky one.
I'm going to tap the Kenrith and then return it.
Okay, so stacking it, so you're tapping first and then bouncing.
It's not about stacking correctly. This happens when I cast a spell. This happens when it enters.
Of course, of course. Okay, playing correctly. How about that? Yeah. Now, do I want to activate the draw card first? My play is almost for sure going to be this. So I might as well, because that's going to eat up my 2 spells. I know my top card, it's bad, but still, so I don't have to draw it. Let's draw.
Yep.
This bounces. I have 1 more spell. I guess I could just play Kenrith again, but I think I can just play that next turn. Let's just go with Clarion both modes. Get that devotion count down. Attack for 5, gain some life.
I'm at 5.
Okay, I'll go to 21. I'll tick this. I mean, I could tick down to try. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, let's tick down on this. Draw a card. Let's try to get a land. And then pass to you.
And I am very dead.
Yep.
I had the combo lined up if I just built a battlefield, but the 3 Teferis just made sure that that was never going to happen.
Teferi is definitely the most important card in this matchup.
Yep.
By far. I mean, even just being able to bounce the ley line or whatever just seems really strong. So
okay, well, we are going to take a short break here, get back and do some sideboarding, and then we will finish up this match between Inverter Devotion and Jeskai Fires. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Jeskai Fires and Inverter Devotion. We talked before, or at the beginning of this round, about how this Inverter Devotion deck wants to sideboard and lean into one of its plans.
Yep.
The Devotion plan or the combo plan. In this matchup, I want to lean into the combo plan.
Smart.
That means cutting some of my permanents, making myself less of a Nykthos deck. I think Merfolk Trickster is a worse creature than Harbinger of the Tides.
Okay.
You're limited on the number of spells you can cast with fires in play, so bouncing a spell or a creature is pretty big tempo there.
Agreed.
Even if you don't have to tap lands to recast it. And we're bringing in a bunch of disruption that will hopefully stop your Teferis with Mystical Dispute, maybe disrupt your plan with Thoughtseize. I'm sure you've got some sideboard stuff. I see Rest in Peace and things like that. So we're just being more of the traditional Dimir Inverter deck that we saw a lot of last weekend, a little bit less of the Devotion half.
Okay, makes sense. And on my side, this deck can pivot a little bit as well, but definitely not as much, because since we are a Fae deck, it comes down to I love Rivulet in this matchup. I can really get you when you invert, but with Fae of Wishes, it's better in my sideboard because I have a higher chance to draw it there. So a lot of one-ofs that I would consider bringing in, like Gidea's Intervention as well, but I have more copies of them if they stay in the sideboard, which is always a very weird dynamic. But we got to bring in some stuff because Azuria's Charm, I think, is really bad. Chandra, I also think, is quite weak. Maybe just doesn't deserve a slot. I haven't played a ton with the deck, so I'm not going to argue with a person who went 8-1-1 at a Players Tour after I just played for 2 games, But in my opinion, I think a lot of flash blue creatures don't line up very well against Chandra, and I haven't even been that impressed with Chandra and Pioneer so far, to be honest.
Yeah, I like the card a little bit more than you do, but I agree this is not a good matchup for it.
Agreed. So we're going to take these out. We're going to bring in Rest in Peace to help with the combo a little bit of Detention Spheres to lower your Devotion, and then 1 Dampening Sphere just for your Nykthos or being able to combo off in 1 turn. If I have both of these in play, you need a lot of mana.
Yeah.
You need, I guess, 7 mana to kill me right away. But, you can still do it with Oracle and Inverter of Truth. So it is still a little tricky. But this is something that we were talking about as a team in our Team BCW Discord channel, that it's pretty hard to hate out these Inverter decks. There's no one card that you just look at and you're like, oh yeah, Inverter can't beat that. Just that kind of doesn't exist, and that's why the deck is so good. So you just got to do little things that give you little bit of edges, and then hope your deck actually performs to really cross you over the finish line.
Yeah, I agree. There are definitely a lot of cards that make it a lot more awkward for them. Rest in Peace, Leyline of the Void are in that category.
Yeah.
I like it when you combine those cards with a clock, because when you make them more awkward, you usually have more time to just end the game.
Yeah.
The strength there is that it's really just a control deck that has these 2 cards that all they need to do is trigger, and all the cards that stop triggered abilities they can easily remove.
Yeah.
Nothing plays well against both the control plan and the combo plan.
Agreed. And honestly, it reminds me a lot of Ely's Dimir Inverter or Dimir Urza deck. That was just a straight control deck that all of a sudden you're just like, oops, you're dead. I drew the sword, A little bit different, because the power level is definitely a little crazier.
Yeah, a little higher in modern.
All right, Kyle, let's take one question, though, from you before we get this battle underway.
Sure. Vezrum wanted to know, do you think the Inverter Oracle combo is too strong for Pioneer, considering Copycat was banned too and wasn't much faster?
Copycat's definitely faster. Copycat is for sure faster. That can kill on turn 3. Oracle just can't. This is a turn 6 combo when you go piece into piece,
turn 5.
When you go the same piece.
Yeah.
If you play Inverter, they know it's coming. They can play around it a little bit more. I don't think this deck is too broken. And honestly, after watching Pete playing it and how much he actually hated the deck, I'm not even considering it to play at the Players Tour, and Cat Combo, I wouldn't even consider not playing it. So I think that is a good baseline of it. But I do think, this is going to be the deck that gets dig through time banned, in my opinion. Like,
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I'm just not like, well, this is the first weekend we've really seen it on a big stage. Obviously, it did really well.
Yeah.
But these things, we got to stop with the knee-jerk reactions. Give it a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Let's try to beat it.
Yeah, agreed. And honestly, so well said, because 2019 put a band taste in every Magic player's, mouth. Like, back in my day, we built sideboard cards that beat these decks, because granted, the 2019 power level was through the roof and bans were needed, and Pioneer started with a baseline built on bans, but it's because it's a new format, and there were going to be things that were broken, and we discovered that right away. But that was what the format is designed to do, was ban stuff early. Now things are going to level off, and I do not expect a lot of bans in 2020. I think we should ban bans in 2020.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
So like it's just a question. We just don't have enough information.
Yeah.
It could.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens in Phoenix next week. We'll see what happens in some of these Pioneer Opens that are coming up.
Yeah.
Let's just see what happens.
Exactly. If I would say next week, if anything should be banned, I would say absolutely not.
Yeah.
Let's play some cards. But
right now, the question you should be asking yourself is, how do I beat this deck?
Exactly.
Not should it be banned?
Exactly.
Once you answer the question, how do I beat this deck, and you come up empty, then we can get to
exactly. I like that. Good mentality there. Okay, so let's get back to the game. Great questions. How's your hand?
It's perfectly fine.
Mine is perfectly bad. Too many wrath effects.
Finally. Two.
Oh, yes.
Stick another question, Kyle, if you got one.
Sure. Several viewers, Histeus being one of them, wants to know how important Leyline of Anticipation is to your deck, Ross.
I think it's one of those things that it's not necessary to the deck's functioning, but the draws with it are supercharged, right? It lets you hold up your counter spells more easily. It lets you play this flash game, which is better against sweepers, better against counter spells, and makes your harbingers a lot better. And then the devotion on top is really nice. It's sort of like if you play back in the day of standard fairies or block constructed fairies, that deck easily won games without turn 2 Bitter Blossom. But the games where I had it was kind of easy mode.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I think Leyline of Anticipation is.
That was my first pro tour back in 2008 was Blue Black Fairies. Hollywood, yep.
I was at that pro tour.
Nice.
I didn't play. I had a friend who
You were just doing movies and stuff in Hollywood, right? Yeah.
It was right after my semester ended, and I went to college out, an hour east.
Okay.
And I had a friend who qualified, so I met him. I stayed on campus a couple extra days after the semester, and then went over to Hollywood.
Okay.
I top 8'd the first PTQ there, playing a sweet Elementals deck. I loved that Elementals deck.
Nice. I remember that. Yeah, you'd get like Vivid Lands and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. It was the first PTQ of the season, so nobody knew you had to kill Smoke Raider on site. So I just got to untap with it all day.
It
was awesome.
That sounds nice. So I kept and bottomed another copy of this. Definitely don't need a redundant copy there. So
okay, Island go.
Okay, go. And this hand is not good. For anybody who's wondering why did he keep this, but kind of no hope.
I'll play Grizzly Bear.
All right, Grizzly Bear. All right, I'll play 2 mana, do nothing. Go.
Don't even have to remember your trigger.
Yeah. No, I forgot it on purpose.
Yeah. Attack for 2.
18.
And
yes.
I am going to play a Godric for 0.
Dadwick, okay.
Faster. Now, if Corey has Teferi, he can't plus it because I have 5 power, and if he minuses it, I get to attack the Teferi down.
I have Teferi. I just don't want to spoil it right now, so your turn.
You also don't have Clarion, so that's good. That's what I was worried about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and that's a really good draw. Ooh, baby. We are doing it.
Was it Nykthos?
I will Thoughtseize you.
No! Okay, there you go. Take your pick.
And we'll take...
I dare you. Leave me with the verdict.
Yeah, I'll take the verdict.
I dared you, though.
So I'm at 18.
Okay.
Then I will make... Oh, these are exiled. I'll make 5 blue. Yeah. I will leave a blue floating.
Oh, God.
And I will plus targeting you.
Okay. Didn't want those anyways.
And attack for...
This is binding in Magic. We know that.
We all know it was a juke. I was just going like this. I was just reaching for my creatures.
All right. Well, I guess we are going to Granted. I guess oh man, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. I guess I'm gonna go with Needle.
Yep.
Go. I'm just dead to the inverter.
Okay. I am going to make 8 blue.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Let's attack first. Attack
Okay.
for 5. You're at 10. I will make 8 blue.
Attack for 5. Wasn't I at 13?
Oh, you shocked at one point?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm down to 8, right?
You're at 8. Yeah.
Yep.
Make 8 blue.
Okay, reasonable.
I will play a Gadwick for 3, 2 blue floating.
Okay, okay.
And tilt. I have 2 blue floating.
Okay, okay. If you say go without drawing 2 extra cards there, that seems not great.
1 extra card from this.
That's fair.
Just
What's that Gadwick doing? What zone is that thing in? It's anyone's game.
yeah, okay. Anybody can. Let's mill you for 2.
Okay.
Draw a card.
Oh, those are good cards. Probably not getting me out of it, but I think we really need a supreme verdict here.
Then I will Thassa's Oracle with the 2 blue floating.
Okay.
Look at the top 10.
Okay.
It's very normal.
Very reasonable magic card. 2 mana, scry 10. Extra clause of winning the game, sure.
Let's leave this one on top.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna guess that's a swamp.
And you're up.
All right, I'm gonna untap. Well, I'm gonna start with Needle.
Resolves.
I will name Jace. Tron from Dreams.
That's fine.
Top 7. Well, there are 5 lands and 2 non-lands, so we'll take those. And put this at the bottom. And I played a land. Yep, your turn.
Okay.
Luckily, there's only 7 damage, but I'm sure there's something that kills me.
Make 10 blue.
Okay, reasonable.
5 blue floating, bounce the Pithing Needle.
Okay,
Shock myself to 16.
okay,
3 blue floating, play Inverter of Truth.
okay, I'm done.
We have 3 counterspells in my hand.
You think that's good? You think
Yeah.
that's good? You feel,
all
you feel
of which I
impressed?
can cast.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Okay, all right, well, those are kind of how I expected the games to go a little bit more than our first 2, but
Yeah, the Teferis are really good. And
Teferis are good. Yeah.
You didn't have the Teferi game 3, though I was able to get ahead of it a little bit, and then Thoughtseize away the verdict.
Yeah.
So your Teferis wouldn't have been nearly as good in that game. And so really it was, either about me getting ahead on the battlefield and being able to pressure you and force you to interact with the fair game plan, or just keeping Teferi off the battlefield.
And a little bit of story of mulligans from both sides. Like, you went to Oblivion game 1. I mulled to 6, and my hand was bad, but it had Rest in Peace. I'm like, which did nothing.
Yeah.
Which did absolutely nothing.
That's the gross part, is like, Jace just makes Rest in Peace embarrassing.
It does. It does. It really does. So, yeah, let's take a question, and let's stop it there, because we got some exciting matchups to play. Yeah. Some PT winners, some decks that did very good, some GP winners and stuff. So we got some exciting stuff. Let's take 2 questions from Kyle, if you got it, though.
All right, first one, not really a question, but Hardling33 wants you both to wish them a happy birthday.
What was the name again?
Harding 33.
Like Warren Harding?
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday, my friend.
Happy birthday, Harding 33.
Enjoy it.
Have a good one. Have a beer for me.
Yeah, hopefully your birthday.
Enjoy beer.
Hopefully your birthday. It's 16.
Yeah. And our ugly glitch.
Yeah. Hopefully their birthday wish is for me to win versus 5. Because, I mean, that's my birthday wish, you know? All right, so happy birthday. Let's get one more there, Cal.
Sure. A lot of people talking about the Orzhov SRAM deck. Have you guys seen it?
Have you seen that? Do you
think about it?
recognize deck lists from Ken Yukihiro as something we would enjoy or like to play on Versus Live?
And do you know that I like playing weird synergistic aggro decks?
Yeah.
We're going to be playing it later.
Do you know he also likes to play bad decks? So that might be it as well. I don't know if that deck's good or bad, to be honest. It looks heinous to me, but all Ken's decks do, and then I play them, and I'm like, oh, this is nice, you know?
I want this deck to be good so bad.
I like it.
So bad.
I like it. Well, next round, is that what you got for us next round?
No,
not quite, right?
No, I'm bringing it up in the third round, so you're going to have to wait a bit on that one. Next, okay. I am playing, the Heliod Company deck.
Okay, so we got Heliod Company up against PT Brussels. Winning deck was Yo Larson, right? Yo Larson, I played a bunch of cool decks from him. Good friend of mine. Really excited to see what this Sultai Delirium deck is all about. So don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short 5-minute break, and we'll get round 2 ready for you here on Versus Live.